Let's continue to look at the rest of the functions that are available in the Customer Orders menu. You have the Print Invoices option, which is identical to the Print Invoices option in Accounts Receivable. Here you can reprint orders. You can choose the method that the line items in the invoices will be sorted by, whether you want them to be alphabetically on description, by product ID, or by the original order that they were entered. You can choose whether or not to show customer payments in the net due amount on invoices, and you'll be notified that the invoices are going to print to your default Windows printer. This time, if you need to change the printer, you can do so. Then you can choose to print all invoices sorted by customer, all invoices by a date range, where you'd key in a date range and it would print all of the invoices for that date range. You can print invoices for a specific customer, which would print all of the invoices during a date range for a specific customer account. And finally, you can choose to reprint a specific invoice or a range of invoices, which are options based on the invoice number. You can also reassign inventory after the invoice has been created. You can reassign inventory based on lot numbers or based on locations. Both of these functions will allow you to indicate which inventory should have been pulled for an invoice and adjust the invoice and adjust what the software shows as having been pulled to match what was actually pulled. So for example, if you are using lot numbers or serial numbers in your software and you need to make a change so that an invoice on the system shows an accurate serial number for a product that was pulled, then you can select the Assign Lot Numbers option. Key in the invoice that you want to make the change for, and you'll see all of the line items listed with the current lot or serial number and the new lot or serial number. Typically, you will be putting in a serial number that's already defined on the system that is still sitting in inventory. If you aren't keeping your serial numbers in inventory, then you can override that. The software will notify you that it can't find an inventory record to switch with, and so do you want to go ahead and just write this serial number in? You can say yes, and it will then store that serial number. The function to assign locations is the same. You'll be shown the current location. In this case, the item was picked short because we didn't have it available on hand, and then you can pick the new location that you want to assign it to. The next option is the cash drawer option. The cash drawer menu has several different options for cash drawers, including both the hardware operation of your cash drawer as well as the logical process of using your cash drawer. The first option, to enable or disable the cash drawer, allows you to specify whether or not you want to track sales transactions against a cash drawer and then be able to do a cash drawer close against that item. We'll go ahead and look at that functionality. I'm going to select yes to enable the cash drawer. Now the first thing that I need to do at this point in time is make sure that I have cash drawer passwords defined. So I can go into the cash drawer passwords module, and you'll see that we have 99 cash drawer IDs, each one with a password. Now these can be assigned however you want them to be assigned. With the cash drawer module turned on, what's going to happen is each person who wants to put in a customer order is first going to have to log in using a cash drawer password. Software will look up that password in this list and then assign that transaction to the cash drawer ID that matches. You can also log in using the cash drawer login or logout function, where it will ask you for a cash drawer login, and you can specify the cash drawer password that you want to use. I'm now logged in. I can go ahead and log out by selecting yes, and now I should be logged out. Now with the cash drawer login option enabled, when I go to enter a customer order, you'll see that I'm prompted for my cash drawer password. And then when I key that in, I can go ahead and add an order, which I'll do so very quickly. And we'll just put one line item on that order, and we'll mark it as paid, and we don't need to print anything. Let's go ahead and add one more. We'll go ahead and add one more order here. And so now I have some invoices that have been logged against that specific cash drawer ID. You'll notice that the cash drawer ID is saved as long as I stay in the software and don't use the logout function, so that I don't have to enter it for every order. I just have to enter it at the beginning of my session of processing orders. Let's go back to the cash drawer menu and look at the cash drawer close option. First, I'll be required to put in an employee number that I'm attaching to this record, and then a beginning and an ending invoice number. Typically, when a drawer is opened, you'll write the beginning invoice number down on a piece of paper and put that in the drawer, and then take note of the current invoice number, which can be entered as the ending invoice when you're ready to close out the drawer. But you will need to know what those values are. You'll enter the beginning cash and then the total amount of money that's in the drawer. And you can do this simply by counting the number of each type of money that's in the drawer. You don't have to do the math. So if I have 5 pennies, you'll see that that calculates to 5 cents. If I have 3 nickels, you'll see that that calculates out to 15 cents, and so on and so forth with the different units. As you enter the amounts of money that you've received or that are currently in your drawer, you'll notice that the software over here is updating the total amount that's in the cash drawer and comparing that against the total deposit that we have to make. Our cash drawer difference at this point in time, $7.45. We'd complete and enter all of the items in the cash drawer, and then we can save the record. If we want to have a printed report, we can select yes, and then we'll be given a printout of the items that are on that. Since we didn't have any invoices in that, we didn't see the report. If you want to reprint a cash drawer audit report, you can select the cash drawer audit reprint option. If you need to reassign an invoice, you can select the cash drawer change, and then you'll be able to see for each order, you'll see the customer, the date that the order was created, the total, and be able to assign it a cash drawer. You'll note if I go in now and assign all of these invoices to cash drawer 00, and then come back in to do the cash drawer audit report, come in to do the cash drawer close, and I'll put in my beginning invoice number of 1,000, my ending invoice number of, let's do 15, and 00. And then you'll see that now it's added all of those sales in, which makes the cash drawer close a little bit more meaningful. And you can see that you can also enter your cash, check, and credit card amount. In this case, just to make it come out nicely, you can see this is the current amount that I'm off. So if I put in, for example, $17.10, then my balance would be off by $1.60, and I can go ahead and save that, and print it, and I'll see the list of all of the invoices that were charged to this cash drawer, as well as the cash drawer audit information at the top with the amount that I'm off. The final options, the final two options here, enable, disable, display poll, and auto open cash drawer, are hardware related. If you are using a compatible display poll, you can enable that here by selecting yes. Then the software will show as you scan each item or as you key in each item, will display the description with the price as well as the total price at the end of the order onto a display poll. And the auto open cash drawer, if you're using a hardware cash drawer, once the cash drawer is configured and set up, you can select yes here, and that will pop the cash drawer open at the time that that the money is received in the customer order process. Next, let's look at marking processed orders. The software allows you to specify whether or not orders have been processed. The notion of processing an order can represent whatever action you want it to represent. It could be verifying credit cards, it could be verifying that the inventory is available. But if there's some action that you want to perform with each invoice before you finalize it, then you can choose to mark them as processed. You have the option to mark a single order as processed, mark a multiple selection of orders as processed, which would be a yes or no option. And then once you've done that, you can print a report showing you everything that has been processed for a date range, or showing you everything that hasn't been processed that still needs to be processed for a date range. Consignment of Inventory is an add-on module that's available, allowing you to consign your inventory out to different locations and then create invoices as the product is sold. After the fact orders allows you to especially for bookkeeping purposes, if you're only using the software for bookkeeping, allows you to enter invoices where you simply specify an invoice number and the basic parameters of the invoice, and then the general ledger accounts that you want it to hit. It doesn't touch your inventory at all. It doesn't require anything set up in that fashion. We also have the ability to work with UPS. You can import UPS shipping data. The UPS software will provide a default output file that you can then put on a floppy disk and import into the software. You can also configure the UPS software so it will automatically write shipping information into the software as it generates its shipping numbers. You can also integrate the UPS shipping software so that it will automatically pull information out of Business Plus Accounting. You can then print a report showing you all of the UPS shipping information that you have in the system for a date range, and you can view that information in a spreadsheet format. The Internet Orders is an optional module that integrates with the BPA e-commerce server to allow you to have a fully integrated web service that places orders directly into your business software from the internet. And finally, the auto orders allows you to automate the generation of invoices. You can mark orders as automated orders, and then you can review those automated orders.